Can I finish answer my question?
Yes, you may.
No, you cannot speak directly to Gail. Talk to me, address me, please.
I'm always
We know the
talking to
rules.
you, of course.
But
I
please.
just better look at Gail.
Thank you.
I'm just saying that that was a compliment for Gail.
I said thank you.
Right. I'm just saying that whatever reasons this petition is not being accepted or has failed, the coalition or whoever handed this and whoever was involved with this should be given the reasons why and all the numbers, all the...
Absolutely.
That's
Well,
all.
everyone in the coalition, or whoever this coalition is an owner here. And as I stated, a detailed report will be going out to homeowners. So they're going to get it.
To 1,100 unit owners. Every unit owner will receive a letter stating the facts. That's how it will be understood.
And actually...
Please, you completed your sentence. You completed, okay. Please.
One of the points that I have made is we do not know if the coalition comprises unit owners. It could be anyone.
But see,
We don't know, because I requested from Thomas a list of members, and Thomas said something that I have heard many times on Galaxy Facts, that
Please,
they want to remain
refrain
anonymous.
from using
I'm
this,
sorry, I
please.
apologize. I apologize. You've asked
Why are
me
we
before.
promoting an entity here in the
Oh,
board?
right.
I have another question.
Please,
That
Barbara.
Thomas wrote to me and said that the members want to remain anonymous, except for him. So we have no idea who the members are. They could be anyone. They aren't just unit owners.
I'm just saying...
All right, please, Franco,
But
please.
all
Barbara
the
is
unit
next.
owners are going to get a
Barbara is
letter.
next. Gail, Barbara is
I
next.
have
Yes,
another
Barbara.
question about assessment, about the arrears, the definition. There are some times when a tenant in an apartment doesn't pay a parking charge,
Right.
and eventually, if they don't pay long enough, it becomes the owner's responsibility, although sometimes owners are not notified of this. Were there any instances in which this kind of business was considered an assessment?
If you're asking me, I can't go into if I see money owed, whether it's the tenant's parking or it's parking and other things, it's parking and late fees, it's parking and cable, it's a year of, as you know, having been on the board and trying to collect some money, those numbers do add up from tenants, because we try to go after them, Barbara.
Right.
Okay, let me respond, please. There were a couple of instances where, actually one instance where a tenant signed and he wasn't allowed, but where an owner signed for an apartment, a unit they own, but they didn't live in it. So I may sign it for the apartment I live in and for Judith's apartment. Whether I know or not, I don't know, but that Judith's apartment, just hypothetically, owes this facility $1,000. I can differentiate on this report from owners and tenants. So there were instances where an owner signed for multiple units, and I did see that there was a tenant in there, and the tenants owed a lot of money. Now, do they know? We don't know. You and I would like to make sure they all know.
I actually
and
don't think that
but
Please, no more
according,
discussion.
no, let me finish, please. According to what I read, any assessment pertinent to that unit that remains unpaid and interest accrued thereon. This is part of the membership and the voting
No, it's
rights.
not
I'd like to,
actually. Not-
excuse
Barbara,
me,
please
Barbara, let me
refrain
finish.
from
in this
commenting.
condominium association.
Barbara,
It's not.
Barbara, I would like to read from the bylaws of the Galaxy, the GTCA. This is Article 11, Membership and Voting Rights, Section 5, Suspension of Rights. The membership and voting rights of
Read that
any member,
before.
Barbara,
Gail,
the membership and voting rights of any member may be suspended by the board for any period during which any assessment against the unit to which his membership is appurtenant remains unpaid. But upon payment of such assessments and any interest accrued thereon, late fees, whether by check or cash, his rights and privileges shall be immediately and automatically restored. So clearly, the history of the Galaxy, and this is in our bylaws, so that answers your question.
No, it does not answer my
Thank you,
question.
Gail. Thank you.
It does not answer
Barbara,
my question, and
Barbara.
excuse me, I want to make a point. I
Barbara,
want
please, Franco, I recognize Franco. Just please.
I'm following up
No,
on my
Barbara, there is no
original-
cross discussion. You
There
keep
is-
engaging in
Gail-
cross discussion.
Gail
Please,
says
you
that she
will
has
get your
answered
turn.
my question,
No,
but she
Director.
has not.
Okay, She's not, then she's avoiding.
All right.
Director Lang, please.
When a unit owner has a tenant in their apartment, and the tenant is supposed to pay for the parking, and they don't pay the parking, it's being pushed over to the unit owner.
And it should
Well,
not.
I don't know what you mean by pushed over.
Well,
It
for
should
example,
not.
the GTCA goes after the unit owner for any unpaid
That's
parking
incorrect.
fees. And we have on AR2 resolution, collection protocol where the GTCA is supposed to notify the unit owner if their tenant are not paying their part of the bill. The owner is paying the maintenance, but any fees that that the tenant is not paying, we're supposed to notify the unit owner. And we have not done that in many cases. We haven't followed through in alerting the unit owner. And at times, after the tenant moves out, we've been going after the unit owner for these unpaid fees when we never alerted them of this problem.
And in fact, I don't believe we have the right to do so.
Barbara, please.
So these are fees that are being attached to the unit owner for the responsibility of the tenant, and we are not following through as the condominium to alert the unit owner of this problem when we're supposed to, as in the resolution says.
Can I respond
You're looking at
to
me
that?
for,
Can I
you're asking me questions?
Can I respond?
I'm
He's
asking-
looking-
I'm
yeah,
asking
you're-
Gail, of course.
Yes, please answer.
You're asking me, first of all, to discuss a policy from the collections area. But I'd like to say the following. It is the responsibility of the unit owner to make sure that all monies are paid to the association against their units.
It's the responsibility of the GTCA to
Period.
notify the unit owner. If you
Period.
don't
But
notify
let
them,
me-
No, you're incorrect, Bill. You're incorrect in this case. It
We
is
have a
not
policy.
Well, I'd like
responsibility
to
of the unit
also-
owner
I'd like
pay
to-
for parking
Yes,
fees.
and
Parking fees are not attached to a unit.
Yes, Barbara, speak,
Barbara,
please,
if
speak,
I can
please,
count-
Gail. No, Barbara, you,
but
now
this
it's
is a
time for you.
resolution.
Now stop.
That's what I'm
I
trying-
can't comment because I have my opinion after you vote
But
and
it's not an
dismiss of
opinion, it's
this
just in the
motion.
resolution that the GTCA is responsible to notify the unit owner when
Frank,
the tenant is in the room.
I will give you the comment
That's-
after you dispose of this motion, either for or against. Barbara, please, phrase your question.
The parking fees in many condominium associations are attached directly to the units. In the Galaxy, they are not. There is no assigned parking by unit. Unit owners are not deeded a parking space
Mhm.
with their unit. The contract between tenants residing in GTCA units and their parking contract is entered into individually, and it is their responsibility, and I believe that our resolutions in this case are an error. This is a very messy area at the Galaxy, and it's one that needs to be addressed, but this would certainly be an instance in which if somebody was, a unit owner was being charged for parking fees run up by a tenant, that might be questionable, and that, I will leave it at that.
Okay, thank you very much.
But
Thank
I'm
you.
just going further, that we're not notifying the unit owner of this fee.
Not with this discussion right now.
Please,
it's still-
I would appreciate if you stick to the issue of this petition, because we can discuss many different issues, but this is not the purpose of this
Well, we're talking
particular
about the
motion. There
arrears,
is a
how the
motion, I
arrears-
understand, there is a motion on the floor, and please continue discussion.
This petition falls short of meeting that threshold by 122 names. Now, I can't say, I'd have to look back and see how many of them had tenants. And some of the people, some of the signers of the petition that owned apartments that they didn't live in, and those apartments are in arrears. There's a small amount of those. A majority of those actually ended up withdrawing their names. So it's moot, but out of the 122 names shy by this petition, I'll hand you back 22. 100 names shy of the petition.
Gail, you should not be
just-
speculating on
The
the
point,
numbers.
saying-
the
Gail,
point I'm
please.
trying to make is
Gail,
that this
why are you
petition,
speculating? You produce
this
the facts.
petition fails by a very large number. I understand and I hear what you're discussing. What I'm saying that I don't have those numbers on my fingers.